Huge news coming all the way from Brazil as we just learned about a brand new theme park making its debut in 2027, and it might be the best in the entire continent.
Yeah, right now the scene for theme parks in South America isn't huge.
No, it's not.
Now, granted, I gotta take this with a grain of salt. We've only done theme parks in Colombia.
Yeah, the biggest theme park in the continent is Beto Cerrero World. I probably totally butchered that pronunciation. It's their highest performing park. Also in Brazil is Hopi Hari. But we're talking about Cacau Park. This is Brazil's very own Hershey Park.
Yeah, Cacau Show is Brazil's largest chocolate chain store. So they have about 5,000 stores out there, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, and they're the ones heading this project. So this really is like a very Hershey similar situation, right? The CEO has been wanting a theme park down there for a long time. He specifically took inspiration from Hershey as well as the Orlando parks. And for this property, they're eyeing the area outside of Sao Paulo, Brazil. It's called Itu. It's about an hour and a half drive from like the city center of Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo is a very populated area.
Yeah. So, I mean, this has the potential to draw in huge numbers. I know specifically they are anticipating between 2 to 3 million guests per year.
Which is a crazy number.
That is a lot of people. That would make this the most popular theme park in South America if that comes to be. So,
well, right now, I mean, there's a lot of tourism to Brazil. Brazil has a lot of beautiful places to go and see.
Absolutely.
And I think that there's a very good chance that tourists would want to check this out. Outside of just people who live in the country.
Sure. I know they are expecting it to be a breakdown of about 50,000 guests per day. That'd be like on the busy days. Any theme park that does like 50,000 people in one day is like doing very, very well. So, it'll be curious to see, like, these are their goals, right? We'll see how much of this comes to pass. But they have a good lineup of attractions to warrant that.
Yeah, so let's kind of like walk through this park. So first of all, the logo for the park is a chocolate bean, a cocoa bean, I guess, with coaster track around it, which is very cute.
Very, very clever. And this is going to be a full resort. So that's the logo for the park, but they have a whole complex surrounding it. I know their goal is to eventually have like 2 different hotel properties. Before you even enter the park, there will be what they're literally calling CityWalk.
Where have I been to one of those before?
Yeah, you can see they're taking a page out of Universal's book. So this is going to be a shopping and dining district. And then the big front entrance for us, very chocolate factory inspired.
Ooh, they should copy and paste Toothsome.
Oh, I'd like that. Yeah, no, I'd be fine with that.
Throw that in there.
Yeah, so we're dealing with 5 big theme lands for the park. Cacao Forest, Mayan Adventure, La Creme Village, Show Factory, and then Universe of Dreams. So all these are going to, in some way, tie into their chocolate like mantra, right? Looking at the lands more specifically, starting with Cacao Forest, this alludes to the origins of the cocoa bean, right? So it goes back to the Amazon rainforest, like 5,000 years ago.
It's giving Parkdale Cafe, but instead of coffee, it's chocolate.
Literally, yeah. So this land is going to incorporate a lot of myths and legends. Should be very, very cool. They've been very thoughtful and specific with the ideas that they've gone with. Next up is Mayan Adventure. This is going to have a lot of temples and pyramids, and this ties in with chocolate because the Mesoamerican people back then would like worship chocolate, and they would use it even as like a form of currency.
I would love to get paid in chocolate. Could you imagine if every month, instead of YouTube sending us a check with like money, they sent us that equivalent, but in chocolate?
We'd be broke.
But we'd have a lot of chocolate. Anyway.
So next up is La Creme Village. So La Creme is the type of chocolate that Cacao Show makes. This land represents chocolate in the modern world. It also tells the story of like the company's founder, and just based off of the images, it looks very European-esque. Like, I love the village feel that you can see.
What the heck is La Creme?
I don't know. It's like cream. It's like creamy chocolate.
La Creme.
I don't know.
I just want to say before we get into the other lands that like, we were saying that they drew inspiration from Hershey Park. I would say they are steering into the like chocolate thing a lot more than Hershey does.
Yeah.
Because like obviously Hershey has like rides that are like themed to different Hershey candies. But, like, it doesn't have, like, much, like...
cohesion.
Yeah, like, there's not, like, different lands that are themed to different things, like, about chocolate. And like,
it's still an amusement park, right?
Yeah. And, like, a lot of... And, we have, like, Wildcats Revenge or Lightning Racers and Sky Rush. And, like, there's no connection there. Whereas it seems like everything here is meant to, like, tie into chocolate in some way, whether it be very like matter of fact and literal or a little more like out there, like, oh yeah, like the part about like the pyramids and everything, like you can connect it, but it's not obvious.
Right. They have a very clear vision with this. I love this next section. So this is called Show Factory. This is a real working chocolate factory. I'm imagining like the Chocolate Tour Dark Ride at Hershey, but instead it's like you can just like walk through and see how they're making the chocolate in the middle of the park.
Such a Willy Wonka moment.
Oh, big Willy Wonka moment. Yeah, they're gonna start giving out golden tickets to this place.
Yeah, like you get to go in, like inside the factory. And now, is it gonna be accessible to people? I think, tours?
I mean, yeah, I think so. Okay. Yeah.
I didn't know if it was just there solely to make sure they had enough chocolate on site.
I mean, I'm sure they're making chocolate that they're gonna sell in the park. But like, I'm imagining how like when we went to Parque del Cafe, they had like the coffee museum, right? This is their equivalent here.
I feel like there's so many things you can do with that, like to draw people in, like because people are obviously they're a fan of their chocolate in Brazil and in South America if they have that many stores, that you could do like different chocolate flights, you could do like different like tasting experiences.
Sure.
You could have a flavor that is exclusive to the park that you can't get anywhere else. Like there's just a lot of things you could do.
Absolutely.
Give me a call. I've got ideas.
And then the last land we have is Universe of Dreams. So this is like a futuristic utopia. I'm not, to be honest, entirely sure how this ties into chocolate. I'm guessing it's like chocolate of the future.
Is it like the utopia is like...
World without chocolate. What would that
That'd be
like?
dystopian.
That'd be a dystopia.
No, I was thinking the opposite, where it's like a future where everything is chocolate. I don't know.
They're going with like a lot of blue lighting, so I'm guessing that's not all made of chocolate. But this is where they're gonna have the biggest roller coaster. So this is probably the ride that is gonna like catch all of our attention, right? So this is a Vekoma Ghost Rider. So it's a launch coaster that will be the tallest and fastest in all of South America. 175 feet tall, top speed 75 miles per hour, just over 3,000 feet of track.
And if you watched some recent videos about Vedanta World, they are also putting in something like this, but this is going to be even bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a solid ride. If you're if you're familiar with the new theme park being built in Poland, Hassoland, this is an identical ride to that. So this is an off-the-shelf model, but with the other one being in Poland, this will feel very original to 99% of people who ever ride it.
I'm going to say, not many people are going to Poland and Brazil in the same...
Definitely
time.
Yeah, so this is gonna be very cool. But there are many other rides coming to this park. There'll be 35 attractions, several other roller coasters, even from Vekoma. There'll be a Horace Jr. coaster. So if you've ridden Midnight Flyer at Santa's Village, this should be pretty similar.
Very cute.
Very cute.
Very, very tame.
Yes.
But very cute.
And then there will also be a Vekoma suspended family coaster. So similar to a ride like Dragon Flyer or Cannon, you know, but this is actually going to be a different layout. This is going to have a dark ride section. I think it's actually going to be identical to the new one going to the former La Feria Park in Mexico City. That whole place is getting a rebrand. So this is another off-the-shelf model. But as you can see, they're theming it up. There's going to be like a tube going over the lift hill. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah, they're also getting one of those Vekoma Beat It rides, which still, that I have to see it in action because in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, this sounds like a nightmare. No offense, I love Vekoma so much, but like a bunch of kids smacking drums sounds just like I would lose my ever-loving mind. But I'm going to give it a chance because it's a really cool concept.
It is.
I'm picturing that in the like pyramids area.
I think it is. Yeah. I think it is going in that section. And I think it's funny that they're getting one because we just talked about how Vedanta World's Bon is getting one.
Yeah.
So with Bon opening in 2026 and this 2027, this would not be the first one to open, but still be very, very cool. Again, very original to 99% of people who ever experience this.
Yeah, they're very, very far apart. So.
Absolutely. Other attractions, we have a lot of stuff from Zamperla. There will be nebulas.
No Stratocoaster.
No Stratocoaster. A lot of off-the-shelf models. Some of the more interesting rides that they'll be building include a flying theater and a madhouse. There'll be a drop tower about 167 feet tall. A pendulum. You can see a monorail here going around the park that hangs below the track. There's a big observation wheel, a small star flyer, some really cool stuff. Like, again, very well thought out attractions.
Yeah, I imagine even if they are just like straight out of a catalog, like imagine they're gonna like beautify them.
Yes.
So I think it's all gonna look pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's a really pretty awesome start for like a park like this. Like 35 attractions is no joke.
Yeah, and they're planning on spending about $330 million US on this place. So they do have a pretty high budget. The theming looks promising. I mean, this is just an animation that we can see here, but if it turns out anything remotely like this, then this will be a really, really pretty park.
Yeah, it seems like they're pretty serious about this too. And it's like, you know, we've had like a lot of false alarms of like places saying they're going to open a park, and then it's just
drops off the radar.
Yeah, they're like, here's some concept art that doesn't mean anything, but this is like actually it's already under construction.
And it's a very credible company doing
Yes.
it. I know we're not familiar with Cacau Show, but like the people of Brazil are. And
I know we have some fans in Brazil, so if you're watching this and you're from Brazil, we cannot wait to meet you.
yeah, this will absolutely get us down to Brazil. Like, this was already like loosely on our radar of places to visit, because like I'd love to go to Hopi Hari someday and like Beto Sorero World. I'm sorry.
You just want to ride Shockwave, don't lie.
Not Shockwave.
I'm sorry, you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I want to ride. So at Hopi Hari, they have King's Dominion's old Schwarzkopf coaster.
Yes.
It's called King Cobra, and it's been operating there as a catapult. It's like Superman themed. Should be really cool. So I want to ride that for sentimental reasons. But now that this park is coming in 2027, I think that's a great excuse to go to Brazil.
I mean, yes, sign me up.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So, I don't know. Let us know down in the comments below. What do you think of this place? I'm super excited for it. I think it's really cool. I'm glad that Brazil is like entering the big like theme park scene. I feel like they've been like mildly on it, but now it's like, you know, as soon as you throw in a big Vekoma coaster like this, I mean, you're making a statement.
Yeah, well, like I said, it definitely helps that Brazil is a big destination. You know, a lot of people go to Brazil from all over the world. So I think that's definitely going to help compared to like trying to open up, I don't know, a huge theme park in a place where nobody in the world wants to go. I can't think of anything like that.
No, I can't think of any.
I think this is very promising.
Yeah. I think like most of the people down there probably haven't ridden that many like great roller coasters. Although I know a lot of people from Brazil make trips up to Orlando, but like
Lots of people from Brazil
the theme
come
parks,
to Orlando.
the theme parks down there have like boomerangs and SLCs, right? Anyone who rides this new Ghost Rider coaster is gonna
And
be
King
like,
Cobra.
whoa. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm stoked for it. So yeah, thank you guys for joining us for this breakdown of Cacau Park coming to Brazil in 2027. And stay tuned for more here at Coaster Studios. We'll see you next time.